Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my goals or visions for 2020. I'm not sure if I ever really was very specific about goals like at the beginning of the year. I kind of just do goals throughout the year, but for some reason this year I was just really excited to be more official about stuff in general. But before we get into any more, I just want to give a little hi and a shout out to my friend Jay over at Her Sweet Wanderings. She also made a goals video for 2020. We, were vlogging around the same time, and I'm just excited that she started a channel too, so we can kind of be buddies on here. She's awesome, and she's one of the sweetest people I know, so I think it would be a great idea to check it out. Is this too bright? I can't tell. I don't know. Maybe I'll tone it down a little bit. Maybe it's not. So let's get into my goals. The first thing on my agenda for 2020 is to kind of rise to the occasion more during my unstructured time. If I have downtime at work, if I have downtime at home, usually that's like, weekends, during the evenings when I get home from work, that I'm being mindful of not wasting my time. Now, I'm not saying not to rest, because rest is really important, but I kind of got that part down. Like, I'm good at resting. But there are times, like, especially during like unstructured times, that can be a little bit trickier for me and like harder to kind of not know what to do, but kind of get things started. Like, the motivation sometimes can be a little bit tricky, and I can spend a little too much time like laying on the couch, take it a little too far. So I don't want to like hijack my entire day. I really want to, streamline my to-do list as much as I can, and like make sure that I'm attending to things and that I'm checking in with myself. Like, is this the best use of what I could be doing right now? Like, and I don't mean just to like do things just to do things, but kind of be intentional with my time and making sure that I, again, am rising to the occasion and getting things done that would really benefit me, whether that be like, of course, an errand, or maybe something a little bit more hobby oriented, or just, if I can. Like, obviously, if my kids are in front of me, they are my priority, and I have to kind of, tend to them and play with them and hang out with them, because I truly want to be doing that. But, I just don't want to, again, like during unstructured times, like waste all of my time, like just hanging out. But again, listening to my body and determining if it is rest that I need, or if there are other things I could be doing, not using rest as an excuse to not do other things. The next thing I want to do in 2020 is to continue to be on top of the clutter in my home. We've gotten rid of a lot of things, over the years. I've been pretty good about bringing my stuff to the donation center, or like there's a trailer called Green Drop that you can donate things through that Green Drop to like Purple Heart or like American Red Cross. And I've donated quite a few bags, but I want to continue to declutter things in my home that are no longer just serving a purpose, or bringing me any joy, or just kind of sitting around taking up space and not getting used. I really need to continue to get more things out. It could be makeup, which is a continual thing for me anyway. I do like emptying things out and decluttering, but it could be clothing, anything. So just keeping on top of it. Speaking of clutter, another goal of mine is to decrease the amount of photos and videos on my cell phone. They really do add up quickly, let me tell you, especially when you have children. Like, you're always trying, even if you don't have kids, like it's just like it's easy to take a lot of pictures and just keep them on there for a long time. I do have a cloud. Waiting for all these motorcycles to go by. Come on. I do have a cloud that a lot of them get saved onto, but for some reason, like unless I'm emptying them out into a hard drive, like a physical hard drive, like I can't delete them. So I think it's just making sure that I'm decluttering all of those things off my phone, or like whatever means it takes to do that. Like, I have like thousands, okay? Like, it's not like I have like 15 pictures. No, I have a lot more than that. So it's just, it'll save space on my phone, I think. And like, I do YouTube videos on my phone. So making sure that I am on top of that, just like I'm on top of all the other types of clutter that I want out of my house. So yeah, another goal for me is to begin Project Pan, which I did do that. And continue it throughout the year. I've never done a project pan before. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically using up products in your makeup collection, whether that is actually seeing the pan part on the bottom or like emptying them out completely, just so that you're using your products and not really focusing on buying more things until you've completed a certain amount, or whatever your goal is. It's just pretty much using up your makeup and getting the most out of it. Not that I consume makeup a lot, but I just wanted a different approach to my collection, and I like Jocelyn Claire on here here on YouTube, and she does a lot of project pans, and I always thought it would be fun because it seems like a fun like communal thing. And you know, I love beauty, but I'm not necessarily a huge consumer of it these days, but I think it's a cool way to kind of rotate your stash and use up your stuff, and you know, just a different approach to your stuff. So I really am excited to try it. I wasn't sure if it was like something for me before in the past, like, oh gosh, you know, like I thought I used up my stuff, I thought I was rotating things out, but I think this makes it really like concrete, like more specific. I think the more specific you are with things, the more likely you are to try to use them up instead of just like thinking about it in the back of your head. So I'm excited that I started it. I will link that video down below. Yeah, it was my intro video to Project Pan for 20 and 2020. So definitely check that one out. Okay, so another goal that I want to do or actually bring back in 2020 is keeping track of certain habits that I have or routines that I have. And I have been tracking habits in a bullet journal for a couple years now, and I kind of fell off it a little bit at the end of 2019. So I just want to jump back into it, and it's kind of the perfect time because I just purchased this brand new, I guess it's going to be a bullet journal, because I had an older one, which is actually right here, but just wanted to get a brand new one to start the year off, and I'm going to use this to track all my habits. I really like tracking my habits because I just get to see patterns over time, and you know, it could be anything from, you know, how often I do my nails, or how many times I give myself like a face mask, how many times I've gotten gas. I just like, you know, want to keep track of those things and see, again, patterns over time, and kind of tap into or make sure that I'm doing certain things, you know, kind of more often and keeping on top of it. You know, not getting gas. I don't want to get gas more often, but you know what I mean. So I really, really like this book. And the reason I picked this one is because it has like this grid lining. I don't even know. There you go. You can kind of see here. It's already lined like at like a grid, of course. And that means you don't have to like use a ruler and do it yourself. That's the one thing I found with this. I don't really use this particular book for planning or anything like that. This is more so for, again, habit tracking or just like making lists of things. For example, I'm keeping track of Project Pan stuff in here, so there's a little section in here for that. That's this. And yeah, so I'm really excited to have a new fresh start with getting back into tracking my habits. My other goal is to move more, or at least be more mindful of moving more. I used to be a member of a gym like a couple of years ago, and back in the day, like when I was in college and even for a couple of years after I graduated, I was very active with working out in my home. That kind of stopped. I wasn't working out as frequently like in later years, and I haven't really enjoyed going to the gym. I liked it for a little bit. I joined like Planet Fitness for a little bit, and then I stopped. But I think at this point in my life, I'm just happy like moving in any type of way that I enjoy. So maybe I'll find like a YouTube video or YouTube, like someone on YouTube that makes really good exercise videos, and see if I can enjoy some of those. Or just like, you know, when you're roughhousing with your kids, like any kind of movement, I think during the day, if you're doing more of it and getting your heart rate up, I mean, hey, whatever it is, any kind of way that you like to move, go for it. And also stretching. I want to do more stretching exercises. I don't know how often I'll do those, but you know, just kind of see how I feel throughout the week. And not even how I feel, like I want to push myself to kind of find some good stretching exercises, maybe via YouTube, and just move more and get my heart pumping a little bit and just feel good overall. So yeah. My next goal is to film more for YouTube and make it a thing, you know, make it a thing. You know, I know how life goes. It gets a little crazy sometimes, but I do want to show up because I do feel good after I make a video and I'm able to like share it with you guys. It's a very productive feeling. And I don't, you know, want to do things just to do things, but I do genuinely enjoy the process. I think sometimes it's just getting started and like getting your ideas together. That's the hurdle to get over. But like once you do that and you're like, you know, that's great. So I definitely want to be more consistent on here as much as I can, you know, and, you know, grow my channel a little bit and just see what happens. So yeah, because I know last year there were some stressful months where I just like had other things going on and I just wanted to take things off my plate. But I think we're in a better place now where I can really focus on it more. So cool. Those are just some things that I have in mind for this year. I'm going to be flexible with these things. I think that's all you can do with goals, is to, you know, show up and try your best and challenge yourself, but remain flexible because, you know, life happens, things occur, but you know, there's times to push yourself and there's times to kind of like stop and just reflect on if certain things are working for you. But I think those are all things that I can stick to and things that I kind of was starting to do already anyway. It's just kind of, you know, continuing to be very intentional about them and making sure that I, you know, don't beat myself up over anything, but, you know, hold myself a little bit more accountable for things like that. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a like and definitely subscribe. I want to hear from you guys. Are you know, doing any type of New Year's plan, or are you scrapping it all together and just kind of making up goals this year as you go through the year, which is always, you know, something I do anyway too. So I get it. But yeah, I'll see you guys later in my next video. Have a great week. Bye.